Salutations. Just cruising. Episode 15.
You sure?
Very new. Episode 15. We're going to continue with part 2 of symbolism in the media. But I would like to also add on to it today a list of things that one should never apologize for. Is that okay, sir?
I could work with that.
The last time we were here, we were talking about the respect factor and the thing about men and boys, women and girls, and reasons why some people do not get the respect that they think they deserve is simply because they look up to the younger ones, which is kind of back-ass words. Ass backwards. Back-ass words.
I like back-ass words. It's good.
It's true. I mean, we have, like someone said to me, it's the Peter Pan complex.
Yeah, there's a lot of that.
The Peter Pan complex, where you don't want to grow up. You want to remain a little boy for a long time. It's not even Pinocchio anymore. It's Peter Pan complex. You want to play with the Lost Boys until your dying day. You refuse to actually do adult things. You refuse to grow. You refuse to be one with your true age, or act your play your position. I won't say act your age. I'll say you refuse to play a position. You know, the Notting Hill Carnival was this past weekend.
No, it's a good segue into what you're talking about, because I can remember. I was there for 2 days, so I can remember some examples of what you're talking about.
Oh, you went this weekend?
I was working there, yeah.
Okay, you're working there. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. I was gonna blast you on live camera.
You're gonna blast me for going.
I was gonna blast you on live camera.
That's hilarious.
It is. It's because
so funny.
It's like combat sports is a young man's game, right? Right?
Combat sports is a young man's game.
It's a young man's game. Same thing as partying, clubbing. Like
I hear that.
the carnival thing, it's a young woman's game. It's for the boys and girls. It's for the kids. Go out and have fun. Awesome. If you're in your 40s, you should not be going out there partying. You can be working in the carnival or partying, dude. You understand?
So here's the thing, right?
Right. See, when someone says, here's the thing, right?
Here's the thing, right? I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying. There's a lot of. I think the only thing I would say as a potential pushback on that, maybe a little challenge to that, is when I'm working and I do see older people, it's kind of cool sometimes to see that they're just out having fun. Like, if they're doing that every weekend or some shit, I think that's probably a little bit ridiculous. But someone that, let's say, loves a certain kind of music and they go out, do you know what I mean? I kind of like seeing them older people on occasion. And with carnival, I think because it's such a, for a lot of people, it's a big cultural thing. There's a lot of people who, I didn't realize to this degree it was really, because I'm not someone that ever went to it regularly. I've probably been 2-3 times in my life. But for a lot of people, for them it's a big part of their culture. They see it as like part of their culture. I go to carnival, I've been going for decades. That's how some people look at it. So I kind of get it from that perspective. However, it's bullshit. It's a different perspective to yours, and sometimes it's different perspectives of yours.
No,
it's a different
perspective or not. What's the history of carnival? That's what it is. So everyone's gonna go and party, but then they forget the history, the origin. Most people that are partying don't know its origin.
Well, then how can they forget it if they don't know it?
That's my point, because they don't know. They woke up with the whole mind of, oh, carnival is about party. No, the Notting Hill Carnival is about the Notting Hill riots. Remember that. So we're going to go and shake booty and dance based on something that people like us died on. There's nothing, this is not my point about that. There's nothing to dance about that. You know that. I know that. We know this.
Most people
I was asking, exactly. It's up to us to teach them. That's my point. Symbolism in the media. Symbolism. It's up to us to teach them what it is, what it's about. I'm with 26-year-olds yesterday asking them about what does carnival mean. No idea. So I had to give them the whole story about the whole thing, the N-word hunting and everything. The whole story about what the carnival actually means, where it originates from, what it began with, what it is today different. It's about the riots. It's about people fighting for their human rights.
It's not about that now.
Thank you. Why? Because those who know the answer have refused to teach. Symbolism. That's why I get worked up, because too logical. Way too logical. So now I see 50-year-olds in carnival.
Oh yeah, even older.
They're the ones that should be teaching them what it is. Those ones should be telling everyone, okay, this is what it began with. So what we're celebrating is the human rights movement from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's not anymore. It's about party. What are we partying about? What are we celebrating? We don't know. We want to dance. What are we celebrating? We don't know. If you don't know your history, how can... So, and the same portion, the same pattern, the same thing, I also get worked up when I see 50-year-old women in clubs acting like the 20-year-olds. You can't be doing that. I get it if it's like, oh, it's my friend's 50th, we've come to celebrate together. But then when I see 50-year-olds dressed like 22-year-old girls, partying all the time, trying to find some 30-year-old boy, dude, really? When I see 50-year-old men acting like 20-year-old boys, really? I mean, I've seen it. You've seen it. We've all seen it.
Yeah, I bartend, you know, I see it.
We've seen the older men try to use slang. I'm like, why? Because we are now out there misrepresenting ourselves. Now, when I say everything, like, that's their thing. If that's how you want to roll, that's how you want to roll. Don't apologize for what you're doing. Put your hat on, rock on with your bad self, but do not hang out with me. Do not come around me. Do not bring that shit around me. I'm gonna throw left hooks. It's true.
I think the reason that you'll have someone, man or woman, in their 50s acting like someone in their 20s is because their maturity level hasn't passed that yet.
Peter Pan.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who didn't progress past a certain level of, you know, emotional and spiritual development.
I think from a point of view, once one starts to accept accountability and responsibility for themselves, doors open. I've realized that is a lot of people do not want to hold themselves accountable for their actions, or in another sense is they've gone through a lot of things. Yes, we understand that they've gone through a lot, but they've gone, okay, you know what, I went through a lot of things, so it's someone else's fault for where I am right now, so I refuse to change or become better unless someone else comes to save me to become better. That's a problem. No one's gonna save you but you. But when you keep waiting for someone else to come and save you, you're gonna sit down there and get to your 60s and be clubbing like you are 20, because you are waiting for Captain Save-A-Hole to come and save a hole. My problems, my issues. It is. It's an issue because it pours down and trickles down through the years. Because you're gonna see 20-year-olds looking at 40-year-olds like, if you're acting like me, that means you want to be like me. If you want to be like me, that means that in 20 years' time, there's nothing else for you to offer. So the best, because as a 20-year-old, I want to be looking at a 40-year-old like, that's a better version of me. But as a 40-year-old, you are not better than me. So what that makes me as a 20-year-old see is that at 20, this is peak version of me. So I can't respect you because you're looking up to me. I can't value who you are in the future because all I see is there's nothing about you that's better than me today. And then we wonder why the older ones don't get respect from the younger ones, because the older ones do not put themselves in a position of respect. Like I keep saying every time, if you want the world to respect you, put yourself in a position that you are respectable. Make yourself the biggest, baddest version of yourself. I saw this video about some girl who was posting thought pics online, and then she lost her sponsors.
Yeah, I saw the thumbnail. I haven't watched it.
She lost her sponsors, and she got upset that she lost her sponsors, and she was saying, "Oh, my body, my choice," and something about
basically not taking responsibility.
Accountability, responsibility. If I post online, it's if I was being sponsored by, let me say, Adidas, right? And I had a picture of myself online with like a mankini.
Adidas was brave enough to sponsor you, yeah?
Yeah, exactly. if
in a parallel universe.
If Adidas was brave enough to sponsor someone like me, right? And I had like a mankini.
Oh God, why would you put that image in my head?
Yeah.
Fuck's
My
sake.
left nut hanging out.
Speaks been hard enough, bro. Fucking hell.
Yeah, it gets worse, right?
No, it doesn't.
It does. So
just leave it, man.
It's a lime green mankini. My left nut hanging out, right? And I'll be like, oh, I felt like posting this, might delete later.
Buy some more and stop it.
Right? So if I posted,
felt cute.
Yeah, felt cute. And then I have like a black sellotape just cover my nipples. I go, yeah, felt cute. Might delete later. And then I did as good as I'm like, oh no, you are not good for the brand. And then they axed me from sponsorship.
As they would.
Because it's a company. They have a public face to uphold.
Absolutely.
I would not. I repeat, I would not go online and go, oh, look, because I had a thought pic up there with my butt hanging out, my left nut hanging out. How dare they ask me? Dude, they would ask you. If I was sponsoring someone and they went out there and misrepresent themselves, it makes my brand look bad. I would ask you as well in a heartbeat. I'll cut you out like that in a heartbeat.
Absolutely.
But again, it also goes to signify the symbolism in the media. So I can't go and post a thought pic and say, oh no, human rights. You know better. You know that those photos are provocative. Yeah, as simple as that. No adult in their right mind can tell me, oh, this gives me human rights to post myself naked or half naked or sexual. This year, wonderful year we're living in.
Yeah. It's definitely an interesting time to be alive.
Are you telling me?
To put it mildly.
Are you telling me? It's very interesting because we're living in a time where everyone has their rights. Everyone has their body, their choice.
Yeah.
Everyone has the freedom of speech. But you can't talk. Everybody, yeah, everybody has freedom to speak, to dress, to represent, whatever they want to do in the world. You can absolutely do, but you can't. How dare you? Everyone has the right to question everything and do whatever, but you can't question anything.
Isn't it interesting?
It is.
It's very interesting when you frame it like that.
It is.
Because you're right.
I simplify it.
We have freedom of speech.
Yes.
But in real
You
terms,
can say
don't.
anything you want to say, but you can't.
But you can't, because if you go against the popular view, you're considered a bigot.
You can say anything, you can question anything, but you can't.
But you can't.
How dare you question? I say, listen, question anything, question everything, assume nothing, question everything. Do not apologize for questioning everything. When someone says, drink this, buy this, take that, do that, question it. But why? There's nothing wrong with that. But why should I? I don't understand it. Doesn't make sense to me. Okay, so what you're saying is so I should drink this, I should have this. Okay, thank you very much. I don't understand what that means. What does that mean? It's real simple. Break it down.
Like children.
Like a child, like a 5-year-old. I love kids, you know. Kids are awesome. When I do something, the best questions I get are from children. The best questions. The most sensible questions are from children. But why are we doing this? And with children, I always take my time.
They haven't been taught to. They haven't internalized that self-editing thing.
Or they've not been drilled into it yet. Because what happens is yet. There's a time and stage in schools where the teachers start telling you to shut up. Be quiet. Now here's the parody of it all, right? I tell most men, you have to think twice before you talk once. You want to say something, stop. Think about what you want to say. Think about how you want to deliver it. Think about its effect and response about it before you say it. Don't just blurb out because I feel like. No, I need your brain to work today. You need to think about what you're going to say, how it's being said, how it's being represented before you say it. And that's very important. What you want to say, think it through. How do you want it to be said? Think that through. Let your mind go through the process, tone, tonality, everything before you start talking. Before you start talking, think about what you want to say. It's very important. So, in that mindset, question everything. Everyone's doing this. Question it. Also, the masses are asses. Remember that. Example. If everyone is doing this, don't do it. Question it first. If every single person is doing the same thing and they're doing it because everyone else is doing it, pause. Look at what you're doing. Question what everyone is doing. Understand what it means. Understand everything about it. Then do it. As simple as. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. If you want to do it, do it. Here's the other reason why I keep saying things like think twice before you talk once. Right? A lot of people today, no one notices. There's a lot of like in a sentence. You can have one sentence and but I said that like and then like and
multiple
then like and then like and then like. Do you know why? They are talking before they are thinking. Because a lot of people are afraid of that gap or silence, because when there's that gap between speeches, you have to now get to know yourself. And people don't like to know themselves. So then is that I feel like say a sentence without giving me the like button. Too often it happens. Way too often it happens.
I'm working on that myself.
What, you say like as well?
I do.
Really?
Not all the time.
I think it's a child language. I don't think I've known you say that yet.
I think that there are certain things. Speaking is very interesting. When I studied public speaking, one the things we would learn about was filler words. We call them like filler words and filler sounds. So things such as are, like, and if you pay attention to your language, let's say you leave voice notes. If I leave a voice note, I'll play it back and listen to it, and I will notice there are certain words I repeat, there's certain conjunction words. One of the words I've noticed I use if there's a gap is and it, you know, it gives me a moment to think. But a lot of that is, as you say, is keeping the space filled so that the other person can't jump in to speak, or so that they know you're still speaking, or because maybe you don't want to be present and deal with an uncomfortable silence. I think there's all these different reasons those things happen. But also we pick up things from other people as well. You know, there was this one person I used to be friends with, and they had this sound they would make sometimes in their sentences, like a kind of sound, and I picked it up without realizing. And one day I was like, where did I get this from?
Yeah, check yourself.
And then I heard them do it, and I was like,
It's very important to check yourself. You know what I do? I use intonation to pause.
Give me an example.
I just did it.
Give me another example.
I got you. So I'm talking, and then I raise my tone.
Mm-hmm.
And I wait. And I keep talking.
Raise your tone, as in are you talking about the like the pitch or the volume? What do you mean when you say raise your tone?
So it's not the volume, but it's like, so I'm talking to you, and then they all went down the cliff.
I like that because as you raise it,
Yes.
it sort of gives it punch. It's not a
Makes it
sentence
weight.
that someone wants to step on.
There you go.
Because
There you
your
go.
voice is trailed off.
There you go. So it stops me going for the and the like, da 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 da.
Yeah, which makes you sound like you don't know what you're talking about, funny enough. Even if you know exactly what you're talking about, when you start saying it sounds like you're unsure.
It makes you sound unsure. It's what, like you said, public speaking is what most politicians do. But then you had the Barack Obama intonation.
He can speak.
He will talk,
I'll give him
he
that.
raise
He
his
can
tone, stop.
speak.
Everyone pay attention. The thing about that, when your tone is raised and then you stop, everyone stops and listens. It's okay, because it's like a comma in the sentence.
It creates anticipation too.
There you go. Look at the crowd.
You think something's about to happen.
Storytelling. That's the magic of it. Storytelling.
I'm gonna experiment with that.
I was going to talk about boundaries as well. Setting boundaries. There's something I realize is that a lot of times. See, I did it again.
I'm listening.
I do it too. A lot of times, relationships end because of boundaries.
Yes.
A lot of women break up.
Lack of boundaries.
A lot of men break up with their partners because the men set boundaries. When the men set boundaries, they are now seen as misogynistic, abusive, problematic, and every other tick out there in the world, because they like things being done this way. They've set boundaries. I tell men all the time, you need to learn to set boundaries. I say men because women are always setting boundaries. It's true. Remember, we live in a world where men chase. Generally, men chase, women choose. So we have women, because they're being chased regularly, women are used to setting boundaries, which is what, you go take me on 4 dates, 3 days before this happened, don't touch me, those are boundaries. The men are used to chasing, so they don't have boundaries or standards.
Standards. What's the other word?
Standards. When a man starts to have standards, which is I like things done this way. I like my water hot. I like my this, that. How dare you have boundaries? How dare you have standards? Remember, we live in a world, a free world where everyone has the freedom of boundaries and standards except you. You see how it goes again? Exactly. Freedom of speech, of standards. My body, my choice, except you. I know, it's funny, but it's true. It's funny because it's true. Simple as. So when you have boundaries, you need to stick your foot down in the mud and say, no, I'm doing it this way. This is what I like. I like it this way. Do not cross it. I'm doing my thing this way, because setting boundaries, you are also setting boundaries for yourself and to yourself.
Yes.
Which is okay. I'm going to respect my temple, which is my body, myself. I'm going to wake up at this time, do this, eat this, drink this, read this, meditate on this. That's me setting boundaries for myself as well.
Yes.
So you have to respect that, and everybody has got to respect that. So be careful about the boundary setting, because many a times people tend to go separate ways because they set boundaries.
I've had that.
That's the reality. It's a reality. It's not easy, especially first impressions. Remember, first impressions last. So the first time you met this person, the both of you had no boundaries. You had none whatsoever. You're like, yeah, whatever happens, happens. And then some person starts to get comfortable, too comfortable, push boundaries all the time, and then you now put your foot down and say, no anymore. Now you set boundaries. Oh, how dare you change? Typical example. I have seen a lot more women hitting men than men hitting women.
Yeah.
You say it again.
So
I have seen a lot more women hitting men than men hitting women. It starts as just little punch here, little slap there. The guy says, don't do that again. She does it again. That's boundaries. You're pushing boundaries.
Nip that in the bud.
Boom. But how does one do that though, without seeming like an a-hole? Just be an a-hole.
I was about to say, I don't care about seeming like whatever.
You don't. The world does. The world has been programmed to care. Everyone has been socialized to care. Which is, oh, but you're a man, you can take it. That's
I've actually
sexist.
heard that line.
No, I say it because it's real. That's sexist.
Literally heard people say that. Oh, but you're a man. Like you don't have feelings.
You're a man, you can take it. That's sexist. No one should put their hands on anyone. As simple as that. No man should put his hands on a woman. No woman should put her hands on a man. It's as simple as that. If you don't respect that, get out. Get out. Bounce. Like I say, it's not by force. Set boundaries. If people do not respect your boundaries, they do not deserve to be in your life.
This is one of the things I wanted to add. Really just echo what you just said. If setting boundaries is a new thing for you, a wonderful listener, you're gonna find some people not gonna like it. There are gonna be people that you're gonna get some pushback. But I think the thing to really consider is anyone that has an issue with you setting boundaries does not have your interests at heart. You know, anyone that really cares about you is going to want you to be happy. They're going to want you to be well. They're going to want you to be thriving. You know, if you say, for example, okay, I need some time to myself, I need to recharge, blah, blah, I can speak to you or I can see you, but it's going to have to be at this time because I just need some time for me. Anyone that then has an issue with that is now moving into toxicity. That's because ultimately, I remember I had a situation once where a woman said to me, like, I said I needed some space and she got really upset about it. And I said, do you think I'm being selfish? And she said, yes, actually I do. I think you're being selfish. I said, well, actually, I think the fact that you're asking me to do something which I'm telling you I don't think is good for me is a lot more selfish than me just explaining what it is I need for myself. And she just went quiet.
You try, you know. You try, legit. You try, because you have to explain that. Man.
This was a while ago.
Okay.
That conversation wouldn't even have happened like that now. It wouldn't have got to that level. You know what I'm saying? Because I allowed it to get to a level where I was like, wait a minute, this is not healthy for me. Like, no. I spot crazy early.
It's not even the crazy.
Early
just...
now, and I spot shenanigans. I spot the stuff of rip now, but
I think myself today, having to explain myself to an adult is tiresome. It just knackers me. Like, it's what it feels like.
But you know the thing is though, right? I know exactly what you mean, and what I'm realizing now is it's supposed to be easy. Like, it's supposed to be easy. Like, it's supposed to be someone that gets this stuff. That's how it's supposed to be. Like, people are not supposed to be stressing you out and making your life more difficult. It's supposed to be making your life better.
Just go, raw, give me strength. Just... Ooh. This is what it's like. Just
everyone's at different stages, though, innit? That's what I'm saying.
Raw, give me strength. That's what it goes through my head. And I go, wait. Common sense does not.
It's uncommon. It's uncommon sense. Let's keep it real.
It does not occur to you that this could happen to you at this stage in your life. Like Nigerians say, at your age.
You know what's weird? That just pops into my head sometimes now because of these conversations. Just randomly, won't even have any context. I'll just hear, at your age. At your age. Yeah. Look at you. At your age. These conversations, man.
It's a reality, isn't it?
Oh, man.
That's the weird thing. It's tough love.
It's
tough love. You need to have someone hold you accountable for your actions. Hence why they're like, at your age, look at you. Your mate is out there building spaceship. You're going carnival. Hey, at your age. Stop it. I know. Horrible. You're welcome. Now, the beauty of boundaries is that it helps you be disciplined. It sets discipline. Like, I like my boundaries. I have my boundaries. I have my times. I have my own self boundaries. I wake up at a certain time. Regardless of what time of the year it is, I'm waking up at a certain time. I have my daily cardio, my daily resistance training, my daily everything, my daily ablutions. I have my daily everything.
How much cardio do you do then?
I need to do at least half an hour a day. Needs at least.
And that looks like what? Nothing, running?
Skipping, jogging, hill sprints.
You do hill sprints still?
Sparring. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yes, I do hill sprints.
At your age.
My age.
It's impressive.
I'm the guy with the He-Man vest that strapped like that, just up the hill. Headphones on. Don't talk to anybody. I don't want to get to know you. Don't get to know me. The only time you hear from me is if I'm running up and down the hill and you have these, what's the one I'm gonna use? Tourists walking around and looking everywhere but forward. Like, this is my path. My leg has shown you this is my path. You walk in my path and I'm running, I'm going to ape man growl at you. Ah! That. Ah! Ah! They just clear. Ah! That's what I do.
You growl at tourists.
Yes. I'm not gonna go, hey buddy, I'm running here. Would you kindly get out? You're wasting my time.
Just imagine how disturbed some tourist is gonna be at like 5:30 in the morning.
Charlie, feel my neck. Do I feel disturbed? I don't care.
Yeah, it's so funny.
Literally.
I'm just picturing that scenario. It's just entertaining for me. This guy with just this unintelligible sound sprinting towards you.
Primal. But it works.
I bet it does.
We all have a primal thing about us, and it works. When it's time to go intense, I go primal. I don't speak. I do grunts and sounds. And guess what? Every human being gets it. Every animal gets it. Every being gets it. Simple as the internet. I was walking in the park once, a couple months ago. A dog ran close to us. It was like, "Roar!" Dog was like, "Oh shit!" Boom! Dog legged it. Tail behind his back, legged it. The dog's owner, his wife, his kids, everyone just like, whoop! Legged it. Simple grunts.
Outdog the dog.
Bro, man, this is the thing. I keep getting upset with human beings because we don't realize our potential. We have the potential
Facts.
of greatness. Like every single one of us have this unlocked potential. It's like the Matrix. We are all Neo. Because we are all Neo, we're not special. And because we're not special, we're special.
It's an interesting paradox.
It's that simple. All you've got to do is just focus on what it is, unlock your potential. Boom. In battle, in combat, you don't talk. In warfare, it's animalistic grunts. It's your primal grunts. It goes back to, it's just there. It's always been there, but we are trying to civilize ourselves. Don't ask me why. I'm not involved.
That makes me think of when you hit a punch bag and that sound just comes out of you. Like no one teaches you or tells you.
That.
You know,
Yeah,
people
exactly.
teach you how to punch, but no one goes, okay, when you hit the bag, what you need to do is go, "Rah!"
Have you
Like,
realized?
no one ever tells you, like that just comes
Have you
out
realized
of you.
in teaching, some people they
It feels good too, man. It's making me want to hit a punch bag.
some people
Go ahead.
they hold that back. They refrain themselves from opening that door.
When they punch me.
Yeah, they're like, oh, I don't want to make a sound. Make a fucking sound, mate. Just make that sound. They go, oh, no. People will hear me.
It's animalistic, like you said, though, right?
Yeah, but again, everyone is being too cultured.
Yeah. But if they're not used to expressing that side of you.
But it's our nature of combat. You hit that bag.
Such a good feeling. Yeah, you run up and
Boom!
you shot, and then it gives the punch something as well. Like,
Boom! Awaken yourself. You're awesome. You're good. It's a feeling, and no one's gonna knock in my gym and go, "Oh, how dare you make grunting sounds?" Freaking grunt, mate. We do that. When it's game time, I don't talk. I grunt. And it shows that any language on earth, any person on earth understands, any creature understands the grunt. Any creature, any language. And I've tried and tested it 1,000 times, and I'll do some more times, and it works all the time. All the time. Any language at this point. Yep, I get it. Boom. Done. Easily. Children, babies know that grunt. Everyone knows the grunt.
Before language, these things would have been.
They were there. They've always been there.
there.
Everything is mRNA. It's your memory, your DNA. Everything from the first man to you today, it's stored in your DNA, in your memory banks. Everything, not just in your brain, in your bloodstream. in every single cell, in every single blood stream. It's stored there. You're just being too lazy to unlock that potential. The word I'm going to use is purely human stuff, you know. But it's fine. I try not to judge. Here's why I'm trying to judge. I try not to judge because there's no sin in trying and failing. There's nothing wrong in trying something and failing. There's nothing wrong in trying, being knocked down, getting back up and doing it again. The problem comes when you fail and you quit. There's nothing wrong with failure. At least you tried. It's essential. It's essential.
It's actually really good. Like if you think about it, and I think the way we're educated has a big part to play in the average person's perception of failure, right? Because you get all the red pen on your essay or whatever. Did this wrong, did that wrong, this. And so the message communicated is making mistakes is bad, but
Yes.
actually
That's the school system, though.
yeah, that's the school system. Actually, that's how you learn stuff. It's trial and error. It's making mistakes.
Well, the school system is telling you that mistakes are bad. What's the other system again? The online media system is telling you that mistakes are bad, because when we go online on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, whatever, we see perfection.
Yeah, that's very true. It's very true.
We
You
see
everybody's
perfection.
highlights. See everyone looking their best. It's like if
There
they're
you
taking
go.
50 pictures, they're gonna post the one where they look great.
There you go.
They're gonna post their
So
wins.
we now assume that it's bad to fail. That's fine. Fail. It's cool. Don't worry about that. We worry too much about what everyone else thinks about us. Meanwhile, no one cares. No one cares. Someone might care for like maximum 6 minutes, and then you're old news. No one cares.
But everyone's
Doesn't work, bro.
you really gonna leave me hanging?
Yeah, bro. No one cares. No one cares. Everyone's watching, but no one cares. Don't worry. I got you. Hanging proper.
I won't forget that.
You're welcome. That's what I do. Oh, shucks, dude. Yeah. So, try and fail. It's okay. You got up, you failed, and then you're gonna get all the critics and going, "Oh, look, you failed." Yeah, but have you done yours? No. Shut up. There you go. If you tried and failed and you didn't get through, no problem. Keep going. It's only those who have never tried and failed that are looking forward to criticize you. Those who have tried and failed before, they will praise you. Like, yeah, good. Do it again. Because they know what that feels like. It's the ones who don't know what it feels like, or are looking for your downfall. They're looking for you to crash. They're looking for, oh yeah, good. That person didn't do it. So they're looking for a reason to criticize you, a reason to be bad to you, be bad at you. It's okay to fail.
Yeah.
It's okay to fail.
Yeah, whenever anyone, so for example, with bartending, sometimes I'll do little flair tricks, and sometimes they don't work. Most people appreciate you trying if it doesn't work, but now and again there'll be someone that will laugh or roll their eyes or whatever. And from my perspective, whenever anyone's making fun of you, yeah, just they don't understand how it works. They don't understand how you learn, how you get good at something. It's through failure, trial and error.
Yes.
So anyone that's gonna be like, "Ha, you failed," it's like, yeah, you just don't get it. And I don't care anymore because like I'm not bothered about how it looks.
Yeah. I see the same thing in the fight industry, the fight game. There's the Eastern and then the Western crowd. I'll give you an example. So MMA, UFC, Bellator, Bama, like MMA shows, right? Cage Warriors. Many MMA shows are mainly Western today. Heavily Western. Like the ones we see in the West, televised Western, right? And then you have like the Muay Thai shows and all this stuff. So MMA shows and boxing shows. If you notice that the crowd is heavily focused on your wins and successes, not your fails, your losses. So everyone else in the Western world is, oh, he's undefeated, and then the moment you slip once, everyone goes, oh look, he ain't shit anyway. They boo you and have a go at you, right? So they're very focused on that. Meanwhile, it's the people who are not fighting that do that.
Yeah.
The ones who have never gone in the ring in their life that go, oh yeah, this guy's undefeated.
Yeah, it's the fans.
They're the fans. Oh, he lost once. He's not good anymore. So you understand? The ones that have never got in there, again, the masses are asses. So now, if you go to Thailand, okay, Muay Thai. The Muay Thai circuit in Thailand, even in China, in Singapore, they show like ONE FC, Singapore, the works, right?
Yeah, they got a different
vibe. Different vibe. These guys don't care about how many wins, how many losses. All they're looking at is, can I deliver?
Yeah, did you fight with heart and spirit?
Yeah. So you can fight like a champ and lose by just one mistake. You are fighting in the next show. Best believe that.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna go there and be lucky and knock someone out with luck, and you don't look the part and the skill, they don't care. So over there, because every other person has done that before, you're gonna hear, oh, this guy has like 78 wins and 25 losses. They don't care. In the West here, it's like, oh, 78 wins and 2 losses. Oh, but he lost twice. What?
Yeah, I think Mayweather definitely had an impact on that as well.
Mayweather is an anomaly. He's a whole different person.
He's definitely had an impact, because there was a time when there wasn't such a stigma to having a few losses on your record.
No, there wasn't. There was always the stigma. There was always a stigma.
Not to the degree there is today.
Right.
Like, there's people that are considered all-time greats that have had losses, and no one questions whether they're all-time greats. Whereas now, you get a couple losses and people just act like they're washed. It's stupid.
And you think that's because they're comparing to Mayweather?
I think he put so much emphasis on being undefeated that people started to focus on it more. And now I find there's a lot more fighters who don't take risks and will pick safer fights. You know, I think he was quite clever in his career and how he selected fights, the times he selected, who he selected. But now I think people have taken that to another level of just avoiding fighting the best. And their fan bases a lot of times are so identified with their wins and losses. You know, this is similar to the way I heard some football fans the other day talking, and one of them was like, yeah, you know, we're gonna beat Crystal Palace, we, and I remember thinking, wow,
Barbershop.
that's so interesting, isn't it? Like, you identify with it to the point when you're talking about we, like you're actually playing. And so I think similar thing happens with certain boxing fans where they're so identified with, for example, Canelo, that they'll defend him. They'll criticize anyone that's a threat to him. They'll make excuses for, why does he need to fight him? This guy's got no name. This guy makes no money. Blah 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 blah, and all this kind of stuff. It's very interesting.
Isn't that our combative nature?
Mate,
it's dope. That is dope. I didn't even think of it that way, because when I go to the barbershop and I hear that convo, I'm like, what? Oh yeah, we're gonna win. It's like, and I go,
delusion.
How much have you invested in that football club? You know, do you have shares in the company? No. What's your percentage ownership?
Invested a lot of time.
You know, if you bought shares, then I get it. If you own, say 5%, yes, that's a we now. I get that part. But if you don't own the company, I'm just like, nah, I don't do that. But I like Mayweather because I see Mayweather as the greatest
I like him too.
boxer of all time. Of all time. People don't get it. You know how hard it is to so not even like so. Do you know how hard it is to organize a massive pay-per-view international show by yourself and fight one of the best fighters in the world and not lose a round?
It's insane.
It's like
It's insane. What he's done. It's just insane.
It's so crazy. I organize shows all the time. It drains me.
Oh, event management.
It drains me. For you to do grand arena show, go for all the marketing, all the interviews,
all the
still all the promos, still have time to do your cardio, bag work, pad work, training, and make sure everything is done, and you go in there, kick ass, and you are actually in the fight and being aware of where the cameras are and what the crowd reaction is at the same time.
You're talking to the commentators
at the same time.
Yeah, he's something else.
There's no other boxer in history that has done that.
Did you ever see the interview with Andre Berto when he was talking about what it's like to fight him?
Yes.
I love that interview.
Yes.
I love that interview. He's just so aware of everything. He's like, he knows where the camera is, he knows where the referee is, he knows what time it is in the round. He'll look at you, and when in the corner when you're sitting down, he's checking over you, he's looking at your breathing to see if you're breathing heavy. Like, he spots everything, and he said, he knows when to hit you, when to score the points,
he knows when to counter,
when to run, when to hold you for a few seconds. Sometimes he'll hold you in a clinch, and you hear him going, just to give himself a little bit more wind, go back out. And he said it was like a sparring session. He's like, I couldn't make contact, I couldn't land anything. He didn't really hit me hard. He's just touching me. He's not hitting me hard, just enough to score the points.
Yeah, because he's touching you in the sense that he's trying to entertain the crowd. He's fighting you. You're giving him your best, but he's fighting you and he's watching the crowd reaction.
He's scoring points.
And
he's not like over committing to the point where he's staying in there and you can counter him, right?
But
he's like touching you and moving.
Now remember,
that guy's different.
He picked you to fight him. He's paid you. So a lot of the promoters don't like Mayweather because Mayweather talks to you directly, not a manager. So you're fighting, but for every fight you go for, your manager gets like say 15%. That's your blood, sweat, and tears. Your manager wasn't there at 2 a.m. your morning run. He wasn't there when you were sparring.
Yeah, managers get a lot.
They get money for doing nothing. So Mayweather goes to you and says to you, here's what it is. I'm going to fight you on this day. I'm paying you directly, not the manager. I'm going to pay you directly. Therefore, managers hate Mayweather. Hence the bad promo. So you get paid directly, but Mayweather, for tax reasons, he has to pay himself by the minute. So you get paid a lump sum. Mayweather has to get paid by the minute. This is why he does not knock his guys out. He has to justify through taxman why he gets paid this amount per minute. So now, if he knocks you out in round 3, he gets paid less money. As the boss, you need to justify to the taxman why you're getting paid this amount of money. And it has to make sense. Boom.
The taxman knows he's fighting. Why would he need
No, dude. Listen. A lot of boxers have gone to jail because of that. A lot of athletes have been fined because of that exact reason, because they don't know how to break the taxes down. If you're gonna make a lot of money per fight and you are the organizer, you've got to justify that. If you're not the organizer, it's fine. If it's my show, you're fine. But for me, I have to justify to the taxman why I'm paying myself $500,000 a minute. So I'm sleeping going, money. I can do you round 2. Don't need to. I'm touching. I'll go to round 12, make more money that way. You're going hard on me. I'm like, bro, I'm fine.
See,
The greatest of all time. Because no one has that mindset or that level of game. No one. Mayweather. You can't beat that. In or out of the ring. Make sense?
I came to that conclusion a while back, and one of the things that did it for me was, because I love watching old fights. A lot of these new fights just don't impress me. But yeah, I love watching old fights. And what's interesting is, even when I watch some of the old greats, Duran, you know, fighters of that level, you just realize Mayweather makes so few mistakes, it almost doesn't seem human. And I think one of the reasons people don't like him is people don't relate to perfection.
Yes.
We don't. We relate to our rough edges. I even know, again, going back to public speaking, I noticed people would connect more with your little quirks, your little mistakes, your little flaws, because now you're more human, you're more accessible. You're like, oh yeah, I relate to that because I make mistakes. But he just doesn't really make mistakes, to the point where when he gets hit clean with a shot, it looks weird. Like, to see him, I think the fight he had with Miguel Cotto, he landed some shots on him, nothing huge, but mostly jabs really. But at one point his nose was bloody, and I remember thinking, what's happening right now? It was like someone saying there's no gravity or some shit, right? It just didn't make sense to see him get hit clean. And then when like I say, comparing it to the old fighters, you just realize how good he was, because some of the greatest defensive fighters still were slurring after their careers. We still took damage in certain fights, and this guy's just, his technical ability is just ridiculous. Like the management of distance, the accuracy of the shots, the fact he was outweighed by so much in so many of those fights. Like he should really have been fighting at a lower weight. Like, there's such a huge list of things. And then if you want to just talk about the money side of it, I think he's got 3 of the top 5 grossing fights of all times, like on so many different levels.
Do you know why a lot of people look for flaws in your public speaking? Do you know why?
I know you're going to tell me why you think.
Obviously.
So go for it.
They're lazy. It's a lot more relaxing when you know someone else lazy like you, because it makes you not work hard. So when I see someone else that's lazy just like me, it justifies my laziness. It's like daytime TV. Daytime TV is there to justify your laziness. To go, oh, see, my life was bad, but you know, theirs is worse, so I'm cool.
This makes me think about soap operas too.
There you go.
That dysfunction.
There you go. Now,
and
if you notice,
right?
the ones who watch soap opera,
it's there to make you feel better about your life.
there you go. It makes you not want to do better. Because you go, oh look, their life is crap as well. That's fine. I don't have to do better. That's what it is. And this is why someone like Mayweather is hated, because of success. And I like Mayweather because he does not apologize for his success. Whatever you do, do not apologize for your success. Like, don't apologize for working hard, for grinding, for being the top of your game. Do not apologize for that at all. You don't, okay, think about it, right? He watches his like documentaries when he's training. What time does he go for his run? 4 a.m., 2 a.m. He calls his barber at his barber like 2 a.m. I need my haircut. Gets his haircut 4 a.m. He's going for a run. Dude, 5K run. Doesn't play with it. As much as he has all the money and all the everything, he does not. He is so focused and so disciplined on his grind. He does not let it rest. Cardio, running, everything, pads, bag, everything. His regime was on point, and he was unapologetic, and that's why they hated him, because he was unapologetic. So you tried everything to do to make him apologize. No. Do not apologize for your success. You are good at what you do because you've put your 10,000 hours into it. People who don't have the ability to put 10,000 hours, who lack the consistency, they're the ones that make you go, oh, you should feel bad for being great. Am I wrong though?
No, but it's true. Like, people do. Like,
how dare you be great? You should feel bad for being great. What?
I just caught myself saying like, you didn't notice.
I noticed.
Anyway.
Like, I tried to say it's like, it's life. It's okay.
I was gonna say that. I said as well. Damn. So, my point.
Henceforth.
So,
Therefore.
Follow
and come on.
my point being that
Sound like Boris Johnson,
there is a big dude. There is a transformation I've noticed in the public's perception around people once they hit a certain level of success. Like, initially, everyone will love you and they'll be like, oh, Kez, this is great, we love what you're doing, this is amazing. But then once you go past a certain level of success, popularity, connections and blah blah blah, you'll notice the public perception of you starts to shift. It starts to become, oh yeah, he fixes all that now, doesn't he? Oh yeah, like it's so interesting, and it shows you how, I don't want to generalize, right? But the average people don't have a winning mentality, because otherwise you would love winners.
Dude, generalize, because I started with the bastards asses.
But I'm saying, it's like most people have that losing mentality. That's why they don't want to see you winning.
The masses are asses. They get mad at you because you choose to do better. And then when they realize that they cannot catch up, they go, how dare he be successful? How dare he try so hard? How dare he put in 10,000 hours when I can put only 4 hours?
Yeah. And so then they come up with a justification.
There you go. So instead of you taking accountability and responsibility for yourself, you try to blame your inadequacies on me. Therefore, I'm not going to apologize for being successful. I said it.
It's been said. Chest.
Boldly, unapologetically, enthusiastically, ecclesiastically. As simple as that, though. And this is why I get worked up many times, is that a lot of those who are unable do not want to face that mirror and have that heart-to-heart conversation. So what they tend to do is take it out on you, because it's an easier option. It's an easier choice to go, oh look. If I talk to him, if I have a go at him, it's gonna be easier than me talking to myself, because if I have to face my demons, that's a problem.
Yeah. That's gonna be uncomfortable.
It is uncomfortable. I get it. It's not easy to have that heart to heart, especially when you've not been taught or when you've not seen people have the heart to heart themselves. You can't do it because everything sees perfection. Perfection, so you are afraid to fail. Therefore you don't try.
I'm thinking of all like the greatest and how much shit they get. Like, you think about the amount of criticism many people had for Michael Jordan,
Serena Williams,
Lewis Hamilton. Serena Williams is
Michael Jackson.
huge, right? Michael Jackson, oh my goodness. At one point the media were just like,
Mike Tyson,
public enemy #1, Mike Tyson, all the greats, man. It's what comes with it.
a lot of people never got their dues because there was an assumed laziness that everyone thought they would be. Assumed they're going to be lazy and just weak and unintelligible. But then they've come out then and proven that they're smarter and stronger than everybody else. And then comes the, how dare you? How dare you be better than me? How dare you be greater? I put in the work. Or it's natural God-given talent. No. when you were sleeping, I was training. I put in the work. That's the reality. How dare you? That's the problem. So I tell everyone, be successful. Go and grind when no one's watching. Go and do that which needs to be done. Go and do it when no one's watching. Do that 1,000 times, 10,000 times. Go and do it. Go. And then when you get better and you choose to show the world, then show the world. That's your choice. Show or don't show. That's your choice. But then don't let anyone come at you and say, "Oh, look, you think you're better than us because you've done it." Well, I can do this better than you. I'm not better than you, but I can do this better than you. So I've done it 1,000 more times than you have. There's no sin in grinding. There's nothing on grinding. It's just that the ones who don't grind get mad at you for grinding. Like the Western fans, the crowd, the non-fighters. They go, "Oh, look, you lost once." So? Yeah, but you lost. So? Yeah, but you look stupid because you got knocked out. You can't apologize for being successful. You can't apologize for trying. You cannot apologize for failing. You cannot apologize for setting boundaries. You cannot apologize for being disciplined. You cannot apologize for being unquestionably you.
I agree wholeheartedly. The success thing is very interesting.
It is.
I could just, so many different examples just popping into my head now, and the reality is, as you say, people are going to find their justifications for why they don't like you.
Yes.
Lewis Hamilton's a really interesting one for me because he's a very humble guy, and you can see he's genuinely trying to have a positive impact on the world. He's trying to increase diversity. He's trying to bring women into certain spaces and people of different races. He's doing stuff to help out young kids to get started in karting. And whenever I see him speak, he's always humble and modest, and he's like presented himself as a good guy.
Symbol.
And yet, he's this, he's that. I can't stand him. I'm not a fan of him. I respect him as a driver, but I don't like him. It's that's all you ever hear. Like it's.
Remember, it shows who you are. If you cannot stand a person being with her, it shows who you are as a person.
100%.
So when people say they don't like you, the smarter brain would tell, "Oh, that's what you don't like about yourself." They don't like the fact that you are well spoken, you carry yourself properly. They just hate the fact that you are awesome and you have self-belief. That's what it is. Can you imagine? Because think about it, right? If I've been raised with a mindset that everything about you is this way, that's what makes me go to bed at night and sleep well. Means you function this way. When you, who are meant to be functioning this way, start going like this, you have now messed up my telemetry.
Good word.
You have deviated from the norm. You are supposed to be Mr. Anderson, but you are Neo. And then what happens is my Agent Smith kicks in automatically. Because this is norm. Mr. Anderson, this is norm. But then you are now Neo. So my brain, my child brain, my 7-year-old cannot fathom you being Neo. So I'm going to keep calling you Mr. Anderson the whole time until you fight me. How do you fight me? By standing your ground. By being unapologetic. By not apologizing for your success. So now, I now have to fight my own Agent Smith. Because I have to now accept that, okay, you are Neo. But that's the battle of human beings. It's our nature to be combative. It's just weird because we are taught things from 0 to 7 and it stays for us for a long time. We get older, but we stay the same.
Blueprint.
Our blueprints, our memory plans, stays the same. So now, when a Lewis Hamilton is coming out there and it's not going, yo, what's going on, fam? Bruh.